echo is coming. Either I will first introduce you. You can try to rejoin. I do not know why echo is
एको आ
coming.
रही है आपकी तरफ से।
किनकी तरफ से साहब? मेरी तरफ से?
नहीं सर की तरफ से।
हाँ वही हम बता रहे थे, उनको इको आ रहा है, वो अगर ज्वाइन कर लें। Friends,
Good morning, sir.
good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Professor
Yes.
Muhammad Alam Sahab is a professor in Civil Engineering Department of Aligarh Muslim University. There was a demand from the participants that somebody should speak on climate action. Today we are fortunate enough to have Professor Alam, who will be speaking on not only on climate action,
Good
but
morning,
also
sir.
good morning. Not only on the climate action, but also on pollution, water management, and biodiversity conservation. Professor Alam Saab, we already had one resource person who spoke on biodiversity conservation. So you can speak less on that theme and more on climate action, more on water management, because water is very important for life, and it is it is considered that the next world war will be over a question of water resources. Sometimes you must have seen two states in India fight for sharing river water. Water is a major problem, and we will request Professor Alam Sahab to concentrate more on climate action, pollution, and water management. Biodiversity conservation has already been covered. So since time is less, I hope he will enlighten us on these important issues. Now the floor is yours, Professor Alam.
Okay, thank you, Bijapur sir. Just at the outset, I should say that you have taught me.
Oh, oh my God.
When I was in BSc first year or second year, perhaps second year, there was a course for the history of science.
Huh?
There was a course running at that time, 1986-87, history of science.
Okay.
In that, you have taken classes for us. And perhaps you have taught my younger brother also, whose name is Saeed Alam.
Okay.
Who has done his doctorate in political science itself.
Okay, very interesting. देखिए दुनिया कितनी छोटी है.
Yes.
My students are becoming professors. My students one day I think will become vice chancellor also.
Definitely. Actually, they have asked me to deliver this lecture at a very short notice.
I know. I remember, because till yesterday we had not decided whom to invite, and we are fortunate enough. मुझे नहीं पता था कि आप मेरे स्टूडेंट हैं. अच्छा किया इन्होंने कि आपको इनवाइट किया.
So they have given topic on their own.
Okay, yeah, because we have to give.
But I'll focus on issues of climate change.
We want a little
more bit of problem of pollution. Conservation is of course very less, only 1 or 2 slides.
Thank you.
Okay. So I have done actually my PhD in geology.
Okay.
I am a student of geology. The subject of one of the very important branch of earth sciences.
Yeah.
So I am a student of earth science, and I am teaching Department of Civil Engineering.
Okay.
Because civil engineers have to deal with rocks and soil and mountains and hills for making dams and tunnels. So my job is to teach them a subject called as engineering geology. The basic subject is engineering geology, then it is rock engineering and rock mechanics and tunnel engineering and dam engineering, etc., etc. So to start with, I have put few queries for all of you. Just you have to give answer in message box as Y or N for yes or no. Almost all questions, they need answer in the form of Y or N. Did you felt more heat in summer and less cold in this winter? Do you believe in issue of climate change? Should we be worried? Can it be checked or reversed? Are we cautious of pollution which we are making, which our homes are making? What is the biggest issue to an individual depending upon where he or she lives? Is it air pollution, or water pollution, or solid waste, or groundwater shortage? So it all depends that what you answer. As an individual, are we responsible for above issues or problems? Who should take responsibility? Is it the responsibility of government, industry, society, or even individuals? And if it is the responsibility, even if it is a little bit, as an individual, are we helping in some way or another way to our environment? And in what capacity, as an individual, as a part of some social group, as a part of some NGO, as a part of some formal organization? And then the last question is, what is the easiest way to help environment? So in this, somebody can write two or three words. I have just exposed this slide just to have an idea that what you think of these issues. I will again show this slide in somewhat midway. Then again you can answer, because you may not be able to answer all at this time. The time is running fast. We are all the teachers. And teacher is defined as a boy who goes to school but never comes out. We have to learn all through our life and impart that learning to our students. So teacher is the first learner. And we have to learn all through our life. So we have to get educated. Of course, by other persons who are having more knowledge than us. Everybody has some extra knowledge as compared to other. Climate change is an issue which is going to affect everybody, every life form, may it be animal, may it be plants, may it be human beings, they are going to be affected by climate change. So it is a very important issue. It is also important because if we have to sustain on this planet Earth, and in fact the planet Earth itself, if it has to sustain, then the responsibility comes over our shoulders, that is human beings. And the new education policy has given a lot of focus for multidisciplinary education system, and in that the teachers and students for all different subjects, they are supposed to have basic idea of other subjects also, especially the issue of climate change. Now, from where this issue of climate change has started? You see, whatever climate we have, depending upon at what part of the earth we are living, at what latitude, longitude we are living, the earth's climate is almost 95% or more than 95% is governed by the solar heat. We have temperatures in between plus 60 degree to minus 60 degree centigrade. And this temperature actually affects the weather system and climate system of the earth as a whole. Now in 1824, Joseph Fourier, a French scientist, has said that depending upon the distance of the earth from sun, depending upon the distance of Earth from the Sun, Earth must have been much cooler than what it is. Earth must have been much cooler as compared to what it has as of now has temperature system. Our distance is 149 into 10 to the power 6 kilometers from the Sun. But he said there is something which is actually keeping the Earth warm. And he said that there must be something which is not allowing the Earth to become much cooler as per the distance from the Sun. In 1856, Eunice Foote has discovered that actually the carbon dioxide and water vapor which we have in our atmosphere, that is actually trapping the heat. Now, carbon dioxide and water put together, they are not more than 0.05 or 0.06% of all our atmospheric gases. Our atmospheric gases are dominated by nitrogen, which is almost 78%, followed by oxygen, which is 21%. So 99% is nitrogen and oxygen. Rest in 1%, we have all other gases, which includes carbon dioxide, which is almost 0.0039% or 0.04%, and 0.00018%, that is water vapor. So he said that these two gases actually, they are warming the Earth by trapping the heat. In 1860, John Tyndall recognized that not only carbon dioxide and water vapor, there are other gases also which are termed as greenhouse gases, which includes CH4, that is methane, which includes sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide also. He said that these gases are actually controlling our temperature system. They are acting as a thermostat. In 1896, Svante Arrhenius from Sweden, he predicted that there will be global warming in future because of the burning of coal. Industrial revolution, which started in Europe at the end of 18th century, and that industrial revolution was the result of burning of coal for energy. So he said that the coal which we are burning today is going to warm the planet and there will be global warming. And because the temperature of Europe is too low, it is unbearable. The cold of Europe is unbearable. So if we burn all our low quality coal reserves, then what will happen? That there will be a warming and Europe will be a livable continent. In 1962, a very famous book came that is called as Silent Spring, which highlighted the issue of environmental pollution, and that resulted into enacting laws for the environmental protection. And then in 1978, United States National Academy of Science indicated that there is a global warming which is actually happening. Then they have made an organization under the banner of United Nations, that is IPCC, International Protocol for Climate Change. Now, in this presentation, you will find a lot of newspapers cutting to impress upon you that whatever we are discussing, it is being discussed all over. On daily basis, you will get some or other news related to climate, related to the pollution, related to the waste. So, for example, I have put some newspaper cuttings with the dates also. You can see the dates also. Now the last heading says Europe heat is real, not Renoir. The painters of Europe used to paint sunshine. Sunshine in Europe was a luxury. Whenever there used to be a sunshine, the painters used to show that that sunshine in their paintings. But as of today, the same sunshine has become so hot. It has become so hot that it has become a fact. It is no more a luxury. So climate change is there. It is not a news, rather it is a fact. But still there are a big number of what you call politicians, big number of industrialists, and some scientists also who say that no, there is nothing like climate change, there is nothing like global warming, it is just a hoax. So if it is a hoax, then the very first question which has asked from you that what you have felt in last 5 years or so, as far as the heat in your area is concerned. Now see, this is the 2 newspaper cuttings of this very month of 2nd July and 10th July. Heat wave shuts top of Eiffel Tower, and European heat wave caused more than 2,300 deaths because of warming. Europeans, as they are developed countries, in Europe you have almost all the countries are well developed. You have lot of fountains, and then you have beaches also. Whenever there is a extreme high heat, that is above 30 degrees centigrade, they take it heat wave. Above 30 degrees, they take heat wave. And they throng to the fountains and beaches for dousing the heat. Now, before going into the details, let's have a very little bit of information about our Earth system. You see, the Earth is third from the Sun. Earth is third from the Sun. The very close to the Earth is to the Sun is Mercury, followed by Venus, and then Earth, and then the 4th planet is Mars. Now Mercury has average temperature of 165 degrees centigrade. Venus has average temperature of 465 degrees centigrade. Earth has average temperature of 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. And Mars has average temperature minus 65 degrees centigrade. So the God has placed the Earth at a very, very peculiar distance from the Sun, so that the maximum and minimum temperature all over the Earth lies within minus 60 to plus 60 degrees centigrade. And this temperature is important because at this temperature we can have water, and water in all the 3 states, that is liquid, vapor and solid. That is ice, water vapor and water liquid. Then we also have an atmosphere. Many of the planets, they do not have their atmosphere with oxygen and nitrogen. They have atmosphere of carbon dioxide, they have atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and many other gases, but no oxygen. That's why the life is not possible there. Now the atmosphere which we have, which is making an envelope around us, is because of Earth's force of gravitation. The Earth's force of gravitation has held up this atmosphere and these gases into its periphery. So gravity plays a very important role, and the gravity is controlled by Earth's material, of which the Earth is made up of, and Earth's interior system of very heavy material inside our central part, which we call core. Now, the Earth as such is made up of different geospheres. When these geospheres, they interact with each other, they constitute our surrounding, which we call environment. We have atmosphere, different layers of gases we have. We have biosphere, human beings, animal, and plants, they are part of biosphere. Then we have hydrosphere, that is a sphere of water, that is having water in oceans, water in rivers, waters in lakes, water is in ground, that is groundwater. Then we have a layer which is called as lithosphere. This is a layer over which we are living. Now, lithosphere is technically a layer almost 200 kilometer thick. Lithosphere is made up of 3 layers, that is upper crust, lower crust, and part of upper mantle. So if you club all this, it will be 200 kilometer on an average. It can be at places less also, it can be up to 200 kilometer thick. Now, litho means rock. So it is a sphere of rock with a very thin skin of soil. For life to survive on the earth, we need water, we need oxygen, we need the soil also. Without soil, the life will not be possible. Now, below lithosphere, we have a very thick layer of molten, slightly plastic material, which is called as asthenosphere. Asthen means something which is plastic. This is a part which is actually lower mantle and part of upper mantle. And then interior is barysphere. Bary means something which is very hot. So it constitutes our inner core and outer core, where temperature is almost 6,000 degrees centigrade. Now, amongst these spheres, the human beings have added one sphere. There is a sphere which has been added by human beings, which we can call anthosphere or built sphere. And this anthosphere or built sphere have been made at the cost of atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. And we are, the anthroposphere is affected by actions which are taking place in asthenosphere and barysphere. If you can see the right side picture, you will find only one indication of biosphere and rest it is anthosphere. That is built sphere. So in making this built sphere, what we have done, we have played havoc with atmosphere, we have played havoc with biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. Still, the most important economic activity in the world is construction. That is build, baby, build. In place of drill, baby, drill. So climate change is there because of humans' advancement, the advancement of the society through the ages. We have been able to inflict some bad effect on our system, and that we are seeing as a climate change. Now, climate change, as we are facing today, is warming, but it can be cooling also. It can be excessive precipitation for a very long duration, for decades, or even change in the wind direction can also be a part of climate change. We are facing today warming. We have faced cooling. There has been cooling also during human civilization times. I'm not talking of Earth's history, which is 4,550 million years old, and we have more than 10 times the climate has almost reversed. For example, the part of Odisha and Bengal which we see today, it was under ice cap. Some 350 million years ago, it was all under ice. There was an ice age. There was an ice age at 350 million years ago. There was an ice age just 2 million years before also. Now, global warming, which we are facing today, is not only taking place on the continents, it is also taking place on the oceans also. The ocean waters have got abnormally hot, and ocean system actually controls our weather system. The major factor on our weather and climate system is driven by what is happening in the oceans, because it is 3 times the land mass. Now we have record of almost 150 years of direct record of temperature rise or fall, whatever, after the advent of thermometer. And we have record of almost 10,000 years, which we have worked out in indirect way. By some chemical process, by some chemical analysis, we have the data, we have been able to generate data for last 10,000 years. There are discussions and controversies on global warming among scientists who propose, refute, and renew their findings with scientific progress. It is all depends upon how we are progressing in science and technology. Now, satellites, which is a endeavor of scientists and technologists. Now, satellites, they are floating in the space, and they are now measuring temperature directly without any intervention. So we have got lot of data today, from on-land data and from off-land data from the space. And this data shows increasing warming trend on land and oceans with some periods of cooling and heating. Now, if you see the newspaper report, this year's January was warmest globally in 175 years. In last 175 years, this year's January was. Now the issue is that how can we check? Can we check this global warming or not? And if we have to check, then we have to find that how much is the global warming caused by anthropogenic factors, by human beings, and it can also be a fact that our nature may be warming ourselves, because there has been lot of cycles of global warming and global cooling in past when there was no human beings. So let's try to see that who is responsible. Human beings are natural factors. Global warming is there, even if there is no component of human activity involved. There is a lot of talk about action to prevent climate change, but realistically, it is unlikely to have much effect in near future, because still we are talking and talking and talking only. It is a matter of too little, too late. We are just trying to balance. We are just trying to balance somehow, again, by using some technologies which are actually creating global warming. For example, your air conditioners. We are having our houses colder using ACs, but actually we are warming outside our houses. So we are teetering on the brink. We are at the edge, and we are trying to make some balance. Now, one of the very important effect of climate change is extreme weather condition and sudden development of some kind of weather system. Last year when IMD has announced that monsoon has withdrawn, when Indian Meteorological Department has said that monsoon is withdrawn, then after their statement, there was a lot of rainfall in Bengal, there was a lot of rainfall in Bangalore, there was a lot of rainfall in Kerala. After monsoon has been withdrawn. So this is what is the effect of climate change indirectly. This year's monsoon, see the right side picture. The Bihar and East UP is having drought-like condition as of today. But Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan has received much more than what they are expected to. So this is why, because of shift in some kind of climate system. And it is felt not only in India, all through the globe. Roger Federer, a tennis player, when he lost his match to John Millman, he said, I have lost my match because I was not expecting this much of heat in the arena. In Australia, people have made omelette in the sunshine. The temperature has gone up to 49 degrees centigrade. In 2019, in Australia, the temperature has gone to more than 43 degrees centigrade. And at the same time, in United States of America, temperature has plumbed to minus 39 degrees centigrade, to minus 40 degrees centigrade. You can see the jeans pant, they are standing because they have got frozen. There is no man or women inside the jeans. It is standing without any person. So this is because of extreme cold, which was not expected. 2024 was India's hottest year since records began in 1901. Up to 2010, we had 3 events of global warming. We had 3 events of global warming when temperature has risen by more than 1 degree centigrade over and above average. 1860 to 1880, 1910 to 1940, 1975 to 2005. But there was a global cooling also, somewhere from 1880 to 1900. For 20 years, there was a global cooling also. I am showing it with the green color line. And there was a time that is from 1950 to almost 1970 when the rate of warming was somewhat less as compared to previous warming episodes. If you see the data from 1950 to 2020, the trend is rising. So there is a global warming. We have to see that is it some natural factor which are influencing this climate change, or there is a human activity which is affecting the climate change. Now, the natural factors, if heat is to increase, maybe something happening with the sun. If sun starts putting more heat to our system, then of course there will be global warming. If sun stops sending more heat, then there will be global cooling also. So solar insolation, which is actually providing the overall temperature, that plays a very important role. And this solar insolation, solar waves which come onto the Earth's surface as a short wave radiation, when they go back after hitting the Earth, they become long wave radiation. And these long wave radiations, they are captured by gases in the lower part of our atmosphere, which we call greenhouse gases. And that is creating the heat. Now, I have shown you that Venus, Mercury is very close to the sun and it has average temperature of 165 degrees centigrade. The second planet, Venus, has 465 degrees centigrade temperature, average, which is second, not the first, but it is having more heat. Why? Because its atmosphere has 97% carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a gas which traps heat at a maximum level as compared to any other gas. Now, CO2 in our atmosphere is only 0.004%. See, in 0.004%, what we are adding, we have actually doubled. Our addition has doubled the percentage of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. And this doubling is actually creating the problem. So this is what is the mechanism of solar rays coming and then going back, and they are being caught up in the lower part of atmosphere, that is called greenhouse gases. Why we call it greenhouse? Because the botanist, agriculturist, and floriculturist, they make a plastic house nowadays to trap carbon dioxide and heat, which is suitable for plants to grow. That's why it is called as greenhouse. In past, in our childhood days or in our university student days, these greenhouses were made up of glass, शीशा से बनाया जाता था. But today it is made up of plastic, and sometimes they use white semi-transparent plastic, or sometimes they even use the green colored plastic also. So greenhouse has come from that. Now you see, Earth is orbiting around the sun in a orbit. Now if our orbit gets disturbed, if we become closer or farther from the sun, that is also going to affect overall temperature. This is also going to affect overall temperature. Similarly, the Earth is rotating on its axis. Which brings us day and night. If we change the rotation axis from 23.4 degree to some degree else, then all our climate belts will change. But the change in the orbital motion of the Earth around the sun and the change around the rotation around its axis is not going to change so quickly. Though the 2004 earthquake of Indonesia and 2011 earthquake of Japan, which has created tsunami, which has resulted into churning of ocean water, it has affected our axis of rotation. Which may have added or deleted some of the heat which we are receiving at individual latitudes. Even in newspaper, I got this article which says that Earth's rotational axis has changed from 23.5 to 31.5 degree. Earth's axis is tilting and it is our fault. So if Earth's axis is going to tilt, then of course the insolation percentage at different latitudes will also change. Why Earth's rotational axis is changing? Because of emptiness we are creating by groundwater withdrawal and by putting extra water on different parts of our land mass into the reservoir and dams. This may have effect on orbital path and variation, and which will result into some natural change in our weather system or climate system. Solar spot activity. Sometimes the reactions of conversion of hydrogen to helium and then breaking of helium to hydrogen, that is fusion and fission reaction, which is taking place on the sun surface, which is creating 6,000 degrees centigrade temperature at the sun surface. If that gets activated, what we have solar flares and solar spot activity. You can see the activity which took place in 2017. So if this happens, then again we will have more heat on the surface of the Earth. So that is another natural cause. Greenhouse gas. Actually, the greenhouse gas was originally given to us from the volcanic eruptions. Our atmosphere which we have, the gases which are present in our atmosphere, they are the result of gases which got emanated from Earth's interior through the volcanism. In our geological past, we had lot of volcanism. The Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra almost 90%, Madhya Pradesh almost 80%, Andhra Pradesh almost 40%, Rajasthan almost 20 to 30%, but they are all covered with volcanic rocks. That means we had lot of volcanism in the past. Today, the volcanism has almost ceased. We have volcanism in Indonesia and Italy, and there are some places, but they are not that much as we used to have. But wherever there is a volcanism, they will add up CO2, they will add up SO2, they will add up NO2, they will also add up CH4, they will also add up oxygen and nitrogen. So greenhouse gases, they are actually, originally they have come from Earth's interior. They are still coming, but not in that much of percentage as we used to have in our geological past. Now, whatever carbon dioxide is generated, it is actually getting absorbed by ocean water. The nature has made mechanism that carbon dioxide will be absorbed by ocean to make limestone, calcium carbonate. Now, our ocean water, since last 200 million years or 300 million years, they have absorbed so much of carbon dioxide that they are not being able to absorb as much CO2 as they are supposed to, because they have become acidic. So they are leaving much of the CO2 into the atmosphere. Had it been all absorbed by ocean water, there would have not been any increase in atmosphere. But our oceans are failing because they have become so acidic that they are not being able to absorb all carbon dioxide which they are supposed to, and that's why the temperature is rising with rising carbon dioxide. And the biggest fear of global warming is the sea level rise. The biggest fear is sea level rise. What we are thinking, what we are foreseeing, that because of temperature rise, all the ice will melt. If all the ice melt of the continent, then all the coastal cities will be under 6 to 9 meters of waters. So that is the biggest issue, the melting of ice. And this will raise the ocean water level, which will cause erosion into all coastal areas. But even if there is no melt of ice, the sea level will rise simply because of warming. When we heat up water in utensils, on gas stove or any stove, the volume of water increases. Simple heating of water increases the volume of water. So simple heating will raise the sea level. And this is a picture of Goa, where to protect the coastal erosion, we are putting concrete blocks and concrete tetrapods so that there is no more erosion. But actually, in producing these material and bringing this material and laying this material is actually creating a lot of carbon dioxide. That is called carbon footprint. So the biggest issue is that we have been caught up in a vicious circle. Whatever we do, we somehow generate carbon dioxide. Now this is a video, a 15-second video. What it reminds us, what is this video all about? If anyone can speak or say or write in message.
Continental drift.
Continental drift, that was the original theory, which was later became plate tectonics theory. Continental drift theory in 1915 was discarded. Alfred Wegener of Germany has proposed it. But later on in 1960s, they have revisited that theory and they have accepted that whatever Alfred Wegener was saying was correct. This is actually showing what has happened in last 65 million years. This video shows that what has happened in last 65 million years. The so-called Gondwana land got broken and different continents have gone away. Now this is happening even today. All continents, our whole earth has been divided into 13 broken parts, which we call plates. All plates are moving in different direction at the rate of 5 to 10 centimeters per year. So in last 200 years or 300 years, whatever latitude and longitudes we have marked on the globe or on the map, they have all actually got wrong in last 200 years because of movement of these plates. And that's why we cannot have unmanned navigation. So when continents are changing their place at the rate of 2 to 5 to 10 centimeter per year. That is the rate at which our nail grows. You don't see your nail growing every day, but after a week you see that your nails have grown. So the rate at which our nails are growing, almost all the continents are moving in different directions. And if you give them 100 years and 200 years and 300 years and 400 years and 500 years, they will change their latitude and longitude maybe by meters or maybe tens of meters. And if they are doing so, there will be effect on the overall weather and climate system also. Scientists have started making conjectures that in coming 50 million years, we will have a new continent, that is Amasia. America and Asia will come together. America and Asia will come together. But actually it is not going to be. I don't know why Asia wants to merge with American continent. If at all they want to merge, they can merge with the other continent also. Our teacher has asked his student that why you are not learning geography nowadays. The student has said that I am not learning geography because my father says that world's geography is going to change soon. So we have some direct evidences, we have some indirect evidences. The record of temperatures formally started when we started having some organization to do this job, meteorological departments of different countries. But people have started measuring temperatures way back. You see, many of our houses, they used to have thermometers hanging on the wall. Many houses I have seen. So when thermometer was invented, it became hobby of persons to record temperatures. So it is travelers, it is farmers, it is what you call captains of the ship. They have recorded temperatures. So scientists have used these records from diaries, from newspapers, from many other records, and they have been able to constitute the past temperature system. Length and thickness of glacier is another very important indicator of temperature rise or fall. If glacier length and thickness increases, that means there is overall fall in temperature. And if glacier thickness and length decreases, then it shows that we are having global warming. If you can see this picture on the right side, this is a huge rock block which does not have related rocks in surrounding areas. The related rocks are some 30-35 kilometers away. This kind of rock is called as erratic, and they are indicators of presence of glacier at this place. This is a picture from Sweden. There is no glacier here, but this rock is there. The presence of this rock means glacier was present somewhere here. You must have seen a movie of Ice Age. Ice Age. There are 5 volumes of Ice Age, which is a movie based on Earth's some 2 million years back, from 2 to 1,60,000 years back. 20 lakh to 1,60,000 years back time is called as Pleistocene glaciation, when almost all the parts of the world, they were covered with ice. You can see another picture. This picture I have taken of another erratic from Sonmarg. This rock which is present here does not have matching rocks in the surrounding areas. How come this rock has come? This must have brought by ice. So ice is a very powerful agent of telling us what has happened in the past. Somebody has taken picture of a hilltop of the same time in the same month in 1912, 1970, 2000, 2006. You can see the ice is reducing. Not to forget, last year there was no ice on Mount Fuji in Japan till 31st October 2024. That has broken record of 130 years. Lastly, it came on 7th November. On 7th November, they got the snowfall, and the record which was broken was again taken care of. In India, glacier area in Uttarakhand has shrank by 21 square kilometer in 23 years. People have studied ice cores. They have taken ice cores from glaciers, not only glaciers, but from Greenland, from what you call Antarctica. They have gone below and they have collected almost 20 kilometers of ice cores. And in those ice cores, they have taken out the bubbles in which there was gases of the time when these ice has formed. And they have worked out the past climate. So this is all indirect evidence. And from this indirect evidence, when they have clubbed all the data, they have seen that up to 1850, the average global temperatures have remained same. But after 1850, that is industrialization, the global temperature have started rising and rising very steeply, though there was a significant drop somewhere in 1975. Somewhere in 1975. People have also studied the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotopes from the caves. In caves, we have rocks hanging from the roof of the caves called as stalactite, and there are rocks which grow from the floor of the caves upward, which is called as stalagmite. So scientists have studied stalactite and stalagmite, and they have said that overall temperatures have remained same up to 1880 or so, and then it has started rising. So every other study indicates that after 1850, 1860, the global temperatures have started rising. Scientists have studied trees. They have taken wood from different rings of the trees, and they have calculated carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen isotopes. And they have worked out that in last 1,200 years, the temperature has risen with a drop somewhere between 18 to 1825, and somewhere in 1990s a little drop. Similarly, heating of the rock results into some reaction which is called as thermoluminescence reaction on a mineral called as quartz, which is very rich in soil. And this study also shows that after 1800, the temperature has started rising. So if you see that almost all the direct and indirect studies, they indicate rise in the temperature in last 100 years or so. And carbon dioxide and methane also shows very sharp increase in our atmosphere in last 100 years. See these two graphs, almost flat for CH4 and CO2, but in the last 50 years or so, or last 40 years or so, the rise is very fast, almost a vertical rise. Carbon dioxide, which used to be 280 ppm per part million of our atmosphere, now it has become almost 550 per part million. That is almost, it has doubled. So not only carbon dioxide, but methane also, and methane is more lethal than carbon dioxide. Methane is more lethal than carbon dioxide, but methane gets broken into other parts. So it is short-lived. Methane is a short-lived gas as compared to carbon dioxide, which is long-lived gas. Once it is produced, it is going to be present for centuries and centuries. From where we are having these greenhouse gases, nitrous oxide, CH4, CO2, this all from burning of fossil fuel, agriculture activity, and different activities on land. And who is emanating these gases? Almost all the countries. Almost all the countries. Nobody can be singularly blamed. It is almost all the countries. It is almost all the countries. But there are many countries which are trying to reduce, and there are many countries, especially the developed countries, which they are not trying to reduce. They are just saying that we will think somewhere into after 2030 or 2035 to reduce the emission of carbon dioxide. Why? Because it is directly related to the development and for livelihood of the persons. If we club all the data, then this is the graph as compared to 1961 to 1990 average, the straight line at 0, the temperature has remained below up to 1800, 1900, and from 1900 you can see it is rising. This paper was published by Critic from Canada, and his paper is famous as a hockey stick paper. You can see in the last part, it is just like a hockey stick. So it is not the natural cause which is creating the warming, rather it is the anthropogenic cause caused by humanity. We cannot blame the sun, we cannot blame other natural system. ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद जमी सेक रहे हैं हम. And finally, this is what we have, the latest data up to 2023, the 1951-1980 average. They have changed the bar. They have brought in from 1961 to 1990 to 1951 to 1980, and this is the result. Now, it is all accepted by almost 80% of the scientists. It is accepted that on an average, the temperature has risen by 1.5 degrees centigrade, and it is going to rise up to 2 degrees centigrade. You cannot bring it back to the previous positions. At the most, what we can do, that we can check at this level of 1.5 degree, and if we put all our system together, all our sincerities together, then we can check it for not going up to 2 degrees centigrade. Because even in this half degree difference, even in this half degree difference of 1.5 to 2 degree, there will be lot of effect. There will be lot of effect on planet and animal life, on coral reefs, on sea level rise, on crops. Just half degree increase is going to affect the things 3 times more. Almost 3 times more will be affected just because of rise in half degree. There will be no ice in the Arctic Ocean if the temperature goes from 1.5 to 2 degrees centigrade. There will be extreme heat conditions, which we are facing. And there will be water scarcity. All these just because of change from 1.5 to 2 degrees. There are some very obvious effect of this climate change, which we will see directly. And there will be some less obvious effects also. You can see the list of obvious effects and less obvious ones. It is going to affect. Maybe very obviously, maybe less obviously. Global warming, melting of ice, more runoff, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather, sea level rise. Maybe this warming may result into more agriculture produce because of greenhouse effect. But the excessive agriculture produce may be marred by extreme weather conditions, which used to result into loss of what you call our agriculture produce. So there are some obvious. See, suddenly in 2018, around Aligarh, Etah, and Mathura and Bulandshahr, more than 10 people died because of extreme weather condition develops in very less time, that is almost 2 or 3 hours. There was so speedy tornado that trucks got topsy-turvy. Because of lightning, the rice fields which were just to be harvested, they got burned. So this is called extreme weather conditions. Sometimes we have very bad weather conditions, which develops suddenly. Bad spell of weather we used to have in, and this is not happening only in India. This has happened in Spain last year. This has happened in Dubai in 2024. There was flooding in a desert. Flooding in the desert. Similarly, what is happening today? All our desert in Rajasthan is now flooded. So why? Because of climate change. The newspaper says that it is a biblical flooding in Dubai. Biblical flooding. A flood which has got mentioned in Quran and Bible. तूफान नूह, Noah's Ark. एक नूह ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले. And there is no Nuh nowadays who can be savior. वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. Uttarakhand, rich in forest, northeastern states, rich in forest. Because of excessive heat, because of less rain, because of delay in monsoon, they are being, the fire is catching up the forest. And we don't have mechanism to douse that fire. In India, we don't have mechanism to douse the fire. More forest burning, more carbon dioxide. More carbon dioxide, more high temperature. We were just waiting for the rain to come to douse this fire. But it is not happening. Driest post-monsoon period recorded in Uttarakhand in 5 years. Dry gas, pine, fuel rapid spread of wildfires in hills. This November, warmest on record in India. This February was India's warmest in last 125 years. I visited Lucknow on December 1st, January 2024, and fan was running. That means on 1st December, which is a very cold temperature it should have, but we are using fan. So the climate change is affecting many things, many things, starting from extreme weather conditions to what you call excessive heat, excessive rain at some places, and many other things. They are all being affected. Asia warming twice as fast as global average. Record heat drives sea temperatures to new highs, water level rise. And we as a human being can adopt. At least to some degree we can adopt. But animals and plants, they cannot adopt. They cannot adopt. And what is happening? That is extinction. Slow extinction is there. Sparrows, you can't see sparrows now. You can't see even crow now. We don't see crow and sparrows. 2024 was a red alert year for the animal life. 2024 was the red alert for the animal life. Same list of questions. Now I am coming to another part of my lecture. That is, what is the bigger issue? कौन सा issue ज़्यादा बड़ा है? Human-induced climatic disorder or human-induced environmental disorders? Yani climatic disorders, it is happening on the global scale. What we are doing into our immediate surrounding. What we are doing into our immediate surrounding, that is creation of pollution. Almost 100 people world over are dying every 30 minutes due to various diseases caused by environmental disorders. Lakhs of people in the world are threatened by new threats of Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, coronavirus, and with global warming. The global warming has helped these diseases to grow. These diseases are attacking with much more lethality on human beings whose immune system is already compromised by adulteration and lack of physical activity. The corona deaths were more in the cities which were more polluted because our lungs are already compromised. Drinking water and atmosphere is already polluted. In 2024 June, there was a news that in India, 464 kids are dying of less than 5 years because of pollution. In 2021, 1,69,400 kids have died. So this is what is affecting us directly. With increasing temperature, dengue is also increasing. The problem of dengue is also increasing. So pollution has become a very big issue. Now this news clip is almost 17 years old. 7 years ago means 17 years ago. Everyone saw Delhi's air take a deadly U-turn with no one did a thing. The pollution level has dropped somewhere in 2005 to 2007 when we started CNG. But again, even after using CNG, the pollution level has increased. Why? Because of more number of vehicles in our system. More vehicles. Loaning. Bank loans have given 4-wheelers to everybody, 2-wheelers to everybody. So whatever we have achieved by changing from diesel and petrol to CNG, it has all been overwhelmed by the number of vehicles. And very recently, few weeks back, the Delhi government has said that all those vehicles which are older than 15 years, they should go out. They will be confiscated. But when you are not curbing the production, when there is a production and the production leads to a lot of carbon dioxide emission, and if you are going to put them in garbage, in waste, actually you are not doing justice with the system. More cars will come into picture. Of course, new. But new car, making of new car will have an effect on climate change. Bitter truth of modern living. This is 2015 or 2016 data, which says that in India, out of top 10 selling drugs, 5 are for diabetes. Why India has become diabetes capital of the world? What could be the reason? What could be the reason? Our lifestyle is not like the lifestyle of Europeans or Americans. We are still very close to the ground. But this disease, which is normally related to lethargic lifestyle and very rich food. We Indians don't take that rich food and our life is not that lethargic, but still we have lot of diabetes. In 2021-22, when COVID came, then a news was made that virus beaten back diabetic medicine sales rebound in April 23. Means diabetic medicines, they got a backseat during the COVID. Because viral medicines, they were more on sale. Now, later on in 2017-18, I got this news that bad air linked to diabetes. It is not our lifestyle. It is not our living style. It is not our food habit. Rather, we are breathing a very bad kind of air. It is bad kind of air which is playing with our metabolic system and creating this disease that is called as diabetes. Every year, when there is a season for harvesting of rice and also for wheat, what happens? That the pollution level increases. Why this pollution level increases? Because of burning of what is called as parali, waste. And let Delhi breathe. The Delhi people, they start shouting and they start crying. But what about other people? The pollution of Delhi is polluting the NCR or vice versa. So pollution, air pollution is not, if it is caused by someone, it is going to spread everywhere. It will go hand in hand. So this winter which has just gone, there was very high pollution level in Delhi, very high pollution. People have, with kids who had problem of breathing, they have taken their kids and went to other states, especially Uttarakhand. But Uttarakhand is equally polluted. The Dehradun is equally polluted. The Masroor is, why? The number of vehicles. The number of vehicles. So there is no escape from the air pollution. And if there is no escape from the air pollution, there is no escape from the diabetes. There is no escape from other disease. We are dying by breathing. Death by breath. See the NCR region. The whole region is under very severe condition of air pollution. We have started a very big movement on the name of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in 2014. We have put lot of money. We have tried to construct lot of toilets and whatnot. But the ultimate result is not as we are thinking. The problem is that our garbage disposal has become a very big issue. We can clean our city, but what to do with the garbage? What to do with the garbage? We are producing much more garbage as we used to in our some 30, 40 years back. We have made mountains and hills of garbage everywhere. In India, we have more than 500 waste disposal sites, of which more than 350 waste disposal sites need to be closed. They need to be capped. No more garbage. But we are not being able to find other place for putting garbage. Ghazipur landfill site in Delhi, it has collapsed, killing more than 3 people. So this is a very big issue of waste production. How to reduce the waste and how to dispose it. Reduce, reuse and recycle at home, in office as well as in community and society. We order food, we order things from online purchase. All are coming with lot of garbage. All are coming with lot of garbage. See, this is a packet of biscuit I have bought at some place from in Aligarh. So there is a plastic box. In that we have biscuit, and each biscuit is again in a plastic wrapper, just to maintain its crispness. Okay, crispness is maintained, but see how much waste we are being generating. Though old statistics of 2017, in Delhi from year 2000 to 2015, the waste has increased by 2075%. Just imagine. They are symbolizing it with Qutub Minar. 2075%. Similarly in Bangalore, 1750%. IT state, IT city. Hyderabad 155, Mumbai 105, Chennai 60, Ahmedabad 48.5, Kolkata 8.3. Why? Why only 8.3? Something to do with the living, how we live. Simple living, less generation of waste. Higher the standard of living, more is the generation of waste. And waste is generated, where to put? Where to put this waste? That is the biggest issue. For example, in Delhi, we have a place called Selampur. In one of the program, Ravish Kumar has said that दिल्ली को साफ रखने के लिए सीलमपुर को गंदा रहना होगा. दिल्ली को साफ रखने के लिए सीलमपुर को गंदा रहना होगा. गाजियाबाद को साफ रखने के लिए मेरठ को सफर करना पड़ेगा. If you enter Meerut from Bulandshahr side, you will find a huge hill of garbage. Are we a filthy nation? Are we not caring for our nation, our society, ourselves? Cleaning your house, keeping your house clean, that's not going to matter only. We have to see that where our garbage is going. India today has done a cover story in 1993. Can we clean the mess? 1993. 31 years back, 32 years back. And then in 2014, again, they have to come up with another cover story, Dirty Nation. That means the problem was not solved. Taj Mahal in the background and in the foreground, waste. There was a video by perhaps some lady from foreign country who has put a video which has gone viral about the waste around the Taj Mahal and in Yamuna and all those. Garbage is a collector's item. Do not throw the inorganic waste in your dustbin. Keep it with you. I have collected all the wrappers of my medicine, of my house. I don't throw it in the waste because many of these are made up of aluminum foil. I give it to the persons who come for buying waste, free of cost. They are doing a yeoman service. Those who are coming to your house and asking for waste, and even they are paying, they are doing a very big service to the nation. We should not ask them for money. We should give them free. The old newspaper and all old plastic, waste plastic and whatnot. If we are creating pollution, we are going to suffer first. This picture which has come from Punjab, so if they are burning parali, they will suffer first. So if we are creating carbon dioxide in our country and not reducing it, it is we, the countrymen, who will suffer first rather than anybody else. And what we have come with? Smoke towers, air purifiers. First, make the air dirty and then buy the air purifier. First, create doom and then make boom. Everywhere there is an industry. Everywhere there is a industry. In many cities, we have put on cross roads smoke towers to clean the air of that very local area. But that is not going to help. That is not going to help. Now, what is being done? What is being done? The very first conference on climate change held up in Stockholm in 1972. And from that time, every year there are some international conference in different parts of the world. First, it was Earth's ozone layer, which was successfully saved. And then Kyoto climate, Hague climate, Marrakesh climate, New Delhi. We have international conferences every year. Head of the states and industrialists and all those who matter, they come together and they discuss. They come up with a document that we will do this, we will do this, we will do this. But Actually, they are not doing anything. So we are having lot of conferences, and just in attending those conferences, we are generating lot of carbon dioxide, but results is not seen. We have deafening noises, but muted outcomes. May it be conference of parties, COP27, then COP28, and then we had COP29 also in Azerbaijan. Next, we are going to have in Brazil, perhaps COP30. What is the stand of our own country? India rejects weak climate finance outcome at COP29. India is asking more money from the developed countries and putting pressure that at least it should be $1.3 trillion, which should be given to the third world countries. We have opted out from COP29 on this very issue. But of course, we are doing this, but what is the result? We are slipping down and down. We are slipping down and down in different kinds of climatic index. The issue is having a lot of politics involved. It involves economics versus resource versus emission. We have a lot of different countries who have made different groups. Third world countries, developing countries, developed countries, like-minded developing countries, poor underdeveloped countries, association of low-lying countries, alliance of Latin America and Caribbean countries, SEAC, Southeast Asian countries. So we have a lot of pressure group. That means lot of politics. Professor Bijapur can very well understand what politics is going on about the issue of climate change. What could be the solution? What could be the solution? From where the solution will come, from the society, from different regions, or within the countries, or amongst the countries, nobody knows. But there are individuals which have started doing things, at least highlighting the issues. And one of the big name is Greta Thunberg from Sweden. When she was in class 7 or 8, she started a strike on every Friday in the schools so that she can highlight the issue of climate change. Though Sweden and other many European countries, they have put a lot of check on the environmental pollution. But still, she says that you are not going to leave us the future, the environment in future, which will be livable for the children who will grow up in coming years and coming days. She has fought with the Donald Trump in the previous instant of President of America. Even she pointed towards India also. India emits a lot of carbon dioxide since they have many people and very dirty coal. Very rightly said. Of course, we are number one in population, and our coal deposits, they are not as good as European coals. We have two kinds of coal. One is European coal and another coal deposit which we have in southern countries. Southern countries coal, they have more ash content, so they emit more carbon dioxide as compared to European and North American coal, which have high calorific value, which they produce with less carbon dioxide emission. So all over the world, lot of students, groups, and lot of individuals have started the fight against climate change. Some of them, they have done it in very different way. For example, climate activists use drones to shut UK airport because flights, this air travel creates lot of carbon dioxide. One of the CSR scientists have said that we will wear unpressed cloths on Mondays so that we can save on electricity. And if you save on electricity, then you save on carbon dioxide. There are environmental defenders who are being killed. This is the data of 2017 that 4 environment defenders killed every week in 2017. So there are people who are giving their life even for climate, for future. Man walks 700 kilometers backwards to highlight deforestation. in Indonesia, where you have lot of forest cover. So a man walks backward. David Buckle, who was senator at United States of America, he put oil onto himself and he lit match stick to himself and he died. He self-immolated himself. He said, in this way, as I am dying, the world will come to an end if we don't stop using fossil fuel. So David Buckle meet the various moms fighting for clean air in Delhi and surrounding areas. RBI has giving some guidelines. IIT professor wants everyone, even PM Modi, to wear wrinkled clothes. So there are a lot of individuals who are doing. Somebody has painted 1.5 degree on the graveyard of Darwin. Thousands march against air pollution in Macedonia. A solution which seems very close to us is that let's have solar panel. In our university, we have India's biggest ground-mounted solar panel of any university. We have all our departments topped with solar panels, and this is a big ground-mounted solar panel. Yes, this is one of the solutions. Sarpalli Radhakrishnan ji, on whose birthday we celebrate Teachers' Day in India, he said that human being is nothing more than the latest of the long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science threatens us with a possibility of its extinction. Now you see, we had an extinction. We had extinction, 5 extinctions in the past. All those 5 extinctions were natural. And he says that we will bring an extinction which will be unnatural. And not only for human beings, but also for other life forms. Why? Because of unprecedented development which we see. Development under quote. There is no life on the Earth's planet because their scientists were advanced than us. We have ruined the Earth, and now we are trying to make colony over Moon and Mars. We have already ruining the Earth, and then we are trying to make colonies on the Moon and Mars. 6 extinctions have taken place. First took place somewhere 375 million years ago, when 75% of the life was lost. It was a natural. Then second extinction came some 404 million years ago, when 86% of life got lost. Then third extinction took place in around 251 million years ago. And this extinction was brought in by reduction in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The third extinction was because of reduction of carbon dioxide. And why? Because so much of flora was developed, so much of vegetation got developed that it has taken in all the CO2, and there was no CO2 left for other organisms. Then there is a fourth one, and the last one was the fifth one, in which dinosaurs got extinct. We know that dinosaurs used to roam the earth, on which there is a movie, Jurassic Park. The extinction took place, dinosaurs got vanished. With dinosaur, this animal got vanished from the sea. Dinosaur was living on the land, And this animal called ammonite, it used to live in the sea. This also got vanished. This was a huge animal floating in the ocean. 76% of all life was lost. All complex organisms, they got extinct. In the last extinction, that was the 5th extinction. Now we are heading towards 6th extinction. We are heading towards 6th extinction. We may not be able to see in a very general way, but if you start working, then you will find that there are a lot of things which are getting extinct. Elizabeth Colbert has written this book, The 6th Extinction. I am also working on a research project worth 40 lakhs on Permo-Triassic extinction, past extinction, not the present extinction. We have people, scientists, technologists working how to cool the planet. The work is going on. That how can we bring back temperature by some technological method. But it is still at a lab scale. It is still at a lab scale. And if we apply them, then there is a chance that it may boomerang. What an individual can do. What an individual can do. We observe these days. This has become a fashion of observing individual days all through the years in India. But we have to observe these things every day. If we start observing things every day, not only on the D day, then definitely there will be some effect. But we have to be very true and we have to be very serious. Perhaps, Abdul Rahim Saab, you used to come with cycle?
No, I was just walking.
Walking.
I never owned any cycle
Walking
or
and
two-wheeler or
cycling.
car.
Walking and cycling, we have forgotten. We have Irfan Habib Saab used to come with cycle. Still.
Yes.
Now this is a graveyard of cycle in Saharanpur.
Very good, sir.
You can see the graveyard of cycle. More than 5 lakh cycles have died in Saharanpur. These were the cycles which were left by the laborers who fled Haryana and Punjab. They came by cycle to Saharanpur, and from Saharanpur they went to their destination by train arranged by the government. And now these all cycles got rotten. So, and what is happening in Denmark? They have 6 lakh population in Copenhagen and they have 6,50,000 cycles. Anybody can take any cycle and can go anywhere. No need of owning a cycle. It is there. Can anybody tell what this 2 green dot means? This is IPL match. What these 2 green dots?
हर डॉट बॉल पे एक ट्री लगाने का प्रपोजल था आईपीएल में.
Yes.
डॉट बॉल पे ट्री लगाने के सर.
So the last question was, what was the easiest way to protect your environment? By putting trees. By putting trees.
By planting trees.
By planting trees.
Yes, sir.
So they have pledged to plant 500 trees for each dot ball. So we have to plant trees. And more than planting, we have to save trees. We have to save trees. How can we save trees? By many ways, including using less paper. Reform the cities. We are having a smart city project that is for reforming the city, REFORM. But we need to reform because all our cities, they have grown at the expense of agricultural land, or forest land, or grassland. So we have to put as many plants, even in flower pots, even in pots, earthen pots. We have a lot of deaths in Bihar and in Orissa and in Andhra Pradesh because of lightning just at the start of monsoon. And one of the studies says that more lightning events are taking place because we have cut down the trees, palm trees. ताड़ के पेड़ों को हमने काट दिया है, जो बहुत ऊंचे ऊंचे होते थे, जो लाइट को लेके नीचे ग्राउंड में कर देते थे. Tar trees take lot of time to grow. And in every village, whatever village you go, you used to see these palm trees. Palm trees used to be a part of villages, village scenery. But today these palm trees, they are getting reduced in numbers. So what we can do? Increase the number of trees, reduce carbon emission levels, reduce concrete jungles, increase number of lakes. Don't think that your individual work is not going to help the overall global system, because individuals' fault has actually created the global warming. Individuals' help can also reduce the global warming. There is a festival in Uttarakhand, Harela festival, kicks off with target to plant 5 lakh sapling. From last few years, some 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years, it has become fashion to break the Guinness Book of World Record by planting trees on a single day. This has become fashion, at least at the political arena, that we will plant on this day these many trees to break the previous record. But what is happening to the trees which you have planted? Has it grown? अगर सारे प्लांट ग्रो कर जाते तो नेक्स्ट ईयर तो आपको जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी प्लांट ग्रो करने की. Last year, not this year, I was not in Aligarh this summer vacation, so I don't know. But last year, on crossroads, we had to put the green sheets at crossroads wherever we have signals, so that people can stand in the shade. It was so hot. Is it not the indication of global warming? It has not happened. It has never happened. People have started writing book, Global Warming Survival Kit, the must-have guide to overcome the extreme weather, power cuts, food shortage, and other climate change disasters. Now, can anybody tell me what is this painting? What this painting is all about? What it wants to convey?
It shows our lungs, sir.
It shows our lungs, and what else?
सर
So we have to
ट्रीज जो होते हैं
plant.
वो
ट्री के अंदर जो लंग्स है सर, मतलब कि आपका जो एयर पॉल्यूशन के बारे में सर दिखा रहा है कि जितना ट्री होगा उतना ही हम लोग को जो है फिल्टर्ड एयर मिलेगा सर.
Very good. Now this painting, I have taken photograph at Fortis Hospital, Escort, Delhi. And in the same hospital, inside they have put plastic plants. So you see, we are making ourselves fool. On one side, you are putting a painting, and on other side, you have in a brass pot, you have a plastic plant. How this plastic plant is going to help you? Many of us, they have liking for such plastic plants. They are of no use. They are of no use. Dennis is saying to Margaret that my mom still waters them, even overwaters them. We are having plastic plants and giving water to them. See this picture. Can anybody make a comment? Can anybody make a comment on this picture? This is on the pedestrian path in our university near computer center. Can you see anything? Can you see anything special in this picture?
देख के ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस पे रास्ते पे कोई चलता ही नहीं है.
Everybody is snatching the leaf. This is in university. This is in university. Every passerby has snatched a leaf. You see, they have damaged the leaf. All the trees, they have got damaged leaf. except this last tree which is away from the footpath. You can't reach by your hand. So it is protected. And this is a picture of 2020. This is our electronics department. Can you identify this tree?
Ashoka tree.
Ashoka tree, sir.
What is the original size of Ashoka tree?
It's about 20 to 30 feet.
About 40 to 50 feet.
20 to 30 feet long.
40 and
Okay, very good. And what we are doing with this tree? What we are doing with this tree? Is it something?
We are pruning it.
Why? It is the leaf which is
To
going
get
to
more
give you
leaves.
oxygen and take in the carbon dioxide,
Yes, sir.
not the bark. And this is a picture of 2020, and in 2022, two of these trees died. Two of these trees died. दुआ करो कि सलामत रहे शजर का बदन, बहारे बरगो समर आती जाती रहती है. This is Miraj Faizabadi.
yes.
So, and this is not the only thing. See, everywhere you will find this kind of situation. This is our staff club. AMU staff club. Vijapur Sahab must have seen this. In his days also, this tree must be of this size.
Yes.
So see, in university, we are not actually doing the things. And the same trees, when COVID came and when there was a lockdown, you can see that all trees, they have regained. All these leaves, they have regained their... Nobody was there to snatch them. During lockdown, nature has taken over what has been made by man. The footpath was all taken over by the vegetation. So if you allow them, if you allow the nature, then of course, anybody from Aligarh will recognize this place. This is a boundary wall of Commissioner of Smart City Project of Aligarh, whose walls are draped by plastic grass and plastic plants. And the slogan is there: Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. So, if a thela person sells plastic, something in plastic, he is fined. But the commissioner is having all his wall full with plastic grass. So on the name of a smart city, what we are doing? We are just painting the walls. Urban renewal is a knock-down, drag-out business, cutting big trees and trying to plant small plants in pots, and that too they are dying, which you can see. Sadly, it is much easier to create a desert than a forest. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Very common sight in university. Maintaining the hedge, cutting the plants, moving the lawn with machine, creating carbon dioxide and cutting grass. The same grass, if it grows on Mars, if on the Mars land, if a blade of grass is grown, it will be a miracle. And we are not giving due credence to the grass which is spreading in our lawns. One of our Vice Chancellor, P.K. Abdul Aziz, he used to say that even a blade of grass gives us oxygen. So we have to honor even a blade of grass. Why the happiest country can't stop greening? The country, this is perhaps Finland, perhaps, they are having very good environment, every statistics in their favor, but still they are going for plantation. So we have to see that what we are doing. The society today has become materialistic. We used to have one pair of shoes, one sleeper for coming out of our hostel. Leather sleeper, so-called. Kolhapuri on those days. But today, looks like you need more feet, not more shoes, mom. We have perhaps 5 or 6 pairs of shoes and similar number of sandals. So this is the problem.
Professor Saab,
Just last slide, sir. I have just reached the last slide. If we pollute the air, water, and soil that keep us alive and well, and destroy the biodiversity that allows natural system to function, no amount of money will save us. घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे कागजी, पहले तो कागजी फूल होते थे, वो भी बायोडिग्रेडेबल थे, अब तो प्लास्टिक के हो गए. घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे प्लास्टिक के, आप पढ़ सकते हैं, और पर्दों पे प्रिंटेड तितलियां रह जाएंगी. You will see the butterflies made on the curtains which we used to hang. One of our alumni, Rajan Habib Khwaja, who was secretary in Ministry of Environment, who headed Coal India Limited, he once came to Aligarh and he gave lecture on environment, and he said that there is a proverb, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." He said we have to change this proverb to "Jahan hai to jaan hai." Now we have to care for the jahan, that is the word. Our founder, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, was lampooned for his love for the nature in a cartoon in 1881. In 1881, there was a cartoon who called him Naturey Jogi. Because you see, surrounding him is cactus tree and snakes and whatnot, means wildlife. So he was, he has seen the future. He has seen the future for India. He has seen the future for the Muslim community. He has seen the future for brethren, fellow brethren. He's seen the future for the environment. And he emphasized on love for nature.
Thank you.
That's all from my
Professor.
side. And again, we have the list of questions if somebody wants to answer.
नहीं, Professor साहब, we are suspending question hour. Actually, आपका lecture 2 होनी चाहिए थी continuously. You have given a wonderful, knowledge about in a very simple language. ये जो हम सुना करते थे कि भाई कयामत कैसे आएगी, आपने वो नजारा दिखाई दिया आज कि how the doomsday will come, not through natural extinction but from human beings efforts of extinction. देखिए आज रिवर्स, आज बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट दिन है. रिवर्स क्लॉक आपने कभी नहीं सुना होगा
जी.
रिवर्स क्लॉक,
हाँ,
क्लॉक जो है सीधे घूमती है, आज उल्टी
रिवर्स
घूम
क्लॉक.
रही है.
यस.
उल्टी इसलिए घूम रही है कि
Yeah.
मेरे स्टूडेंट जो 37 years पहले मोहम्मद आलम साहब was my student and today I became his student. very interesting. And he has paid his Guru Dakshina by educating me about this climate change and all. तो ये climate change की वजह से हो सकता है अगले 100 साल में कुछ कंट्रीज गायब हो जाएं, सी लेवल बढ़ जाएगा.
Already they have started vanishing. Already
Bangladesh will disappear, मालदीव्स खत्म हो जाएगा, बकिंगहाम पैलेस में पानी आ जाएगा, और जैसा इन्होंने बताया विंटर में विंटर नहीं आ रहा है, सर्दी के मौसम में यू आर नॉट फीलिंग कोल्ड. फ्रेंड्स, आवर नेक्स्ट रिसोर्स पर्सन प्रोफेसर सुफियान बेग is waiting. He has already joined. I thank Professor Mohammad Alam Saab for his wonderful session. And please share your PPT so that we can pass it on to all the participants so that they are benefited. Thank you very much from my side, and on behalf of all the participants, I thank Professor Alam Saab. Thank you, sir. Please exit the meeting. और दूसरी मीटिंग.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
5 मिनट हम लोग ले 5 मिनट लेट हो गए.
Thank you, sir.
मीटिंग में मिलते हैं.